Are you currently selling or planning to sell in Europe? A good understanding of VAT is essential to scale your business. VAT stands for value-added tax. It's a consumption tax assessed on the value of goods and services at each stage in the supply chain. VAT is charged whenever a VAT-registered business sells goods or services to another customer throughout the product journey, from manufacturing to distribution, up to the sale to the end customer, who ultimately bears the cost of this tax. The fundamental concept of VAT remains similar across Europe, but each country has its own defined and specific regulations in terms of VAT rates and VAT reporting methods. Additionally, following the UK's exit from the European Union, there are now some differences between EU and UK requirements. Some of the most common activities that trigger a mandatory VAT registration obligation within Europe include 1. Importing goods into an EU country from outside the EU, which will trigger VAT requirements in the EU countries where the goods are imported. 2. Importing goods into the UK from outside the UK, which will trigger VAT requirements in the UK. 3. Storing goods in an EU country or in the UK, which will trigger VAT requirements in the countries where the goods are stored, either by you or by a third party that facilitates on your behalf. 4. Selling to EU customers from another EU country, which will trigger VAT requirements in either the departure country, the arrival country, or in both. 5. Domestic sales above country-specific thresholds by an EU or UK established seller, which will trigger VAT requirements in the country where the seller is established. If you trigger any VAT obligations, you'll need to take actions to become VAT compliant in that country. The first step is to register for VAT. That may take from 2 to 14 weeks once the application is submitted, depending on the country where you need to register for VAT purposes. Once registered for VAT, the second step is to file your VAT returns periodically. In those VAT returns, the amount of VAT on the sales you have made across countries will be calculated. Simultaneously, you will be able to deduct the amount of VAT incurred on any imports or purchases that you have made in the same countries. Finally, you will pay the net VAT liability to tax authorities of the respective countries where you are VAT registered. Are you a seller whose business is not established within the European Union? Please note that some European countries may require you to appoint a fiscal representative in order to register for VAT. Fiscal representatives are local representatives who are appointed to assist non-EU businesses with their VAT compliance and ensure that the correct VAT amount is remitted to the tax authorities. How can you register for VAT? You can register for VAT and receive your VAT registration number by either 1. Registering on your own. Once you have established the need to register for VAT in a specific country, unless a fiscal representative is required, you can submit an application form directly to the relevant tax authorities on your own, or with your own tax service provider. 2. Registering through a tax advisor on Amazon's service provider network. Amazon sellers have access to multiple external tax partners thanks to our service provider network. You can select one that meets your requirements. 3. Letting Amazon help. VAT services on Amazon is a convenient and cost-effective solution for handling your VAT registration and filing requirements in the UK, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Poland, and the Czech Republic. Amazon has partnered with some of the leading tax service providers in Europe to offer their expert and experienced support in registering sellers for VAT and managing their VAT filings. You can visit the VAT services page on Amazon from Seller Central by clicking on Manage Your VAT, or if you're not an Amazon seller yet, visit our website to learn more about VAT obligations and the active promotions, fees and services provided by VAT services on Amazon.